Wagwan, Mr. Maps.
Yo, what it is?
But it is, big man. You're alive and kicking.
Yeah, man. Happy to be back. I wish we had more time. There's so much that happened. So much to catch up on. I don't know, because
Kuning.
Kuningi, dog, Kuningi, and I really wanted to talk sports.
No
Because
pun intended.
a lot has happened in the sports world. We didn't get to record. I wanted to get into pre-semis, put something out there. But anyway, it is what it is. We're here. Welcome back, guys. It is another episode of 6 Foot Weight, your favorite hour with your favorite cheese boys. My name is Tabo.
My name is Senna.
And yeah, we here to do the bumba clock thing.
You were close. You were close. You were really close. I could hear it coming.
You know someone who snitches? Someone who snitches. I want to snitch on someone, but let me see. Maybe if she pisses me off, then I'll out her to the people. But this individual told me, they said, you know how there's the other clat that we're not supposed to say, right?
Yes.
She says it when we do the intros, she says it out loud when she's listening to the pod. So these are corrupt individuals. They're like, nah, fam. Me, you're like, I'm alive and kicking, and then they be like, nah, fam. Me, I'm alive and kicking.
You have to pause yourself.
You have to
stop yourself.
Exactly. Otherwise, you go, which we'll end up sissing our Enzo Fernandez, So we
that was so dumb, man.
So dumb.
That was really so dumb.
But we'll save it. We'll save it. That's going to be the second half of the pod. Just need to get through just a few things for our listeners who aren't, what can I say? Big time soccer fans, for example.
Yes.
So just we'll give you a little bit of something, just to make sure that at least Latisige Salizama, and all of that. So
yes.
Let's get into it. Let's start with something light. Gladiator. Did you watch the trailer?
I saw it. That's the one with Denzel and that guy from Game of Thrones. Pascal.
No. We don't. Oh, Oberyn.
Well, what's his name? His name is Pascal something.
I don't know. But the only Pascal I know
Pedro
is
Pascal.
Yeah,
Pedro Pascal.
Yes,
Pedro Pascal.
I know him.
I saw the trailer.
Oberyn or the Mandalorian. It's like some actors. It's like generations actors. Lumka, just know them by their stage names. But what did you think of the trailer?
I think it looks good. I think it looks like it'll be exciting. It just now means I need to go back and watch the first one because I barely remember it. When was it? Like primary school?
Yeah, way back, dog. It's like early 2000s.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? I remember. Okay, yeah, I know why I know why I'm about to say what I'm about to say. So, same thing as you. I barely remember Gladiator. Like I know it because the meme. I think when Caesar does the thumbs down, I think that's from Gladiator. So I know it from GIFs and memes more so than the movie itself. So allow me, I need to go. I'm sure it's on Netflix or something. One of my subscription services probably has it.
And if it doesn't, then they must do better.
Yeah, no, I'm this should be there one way or the other. But like I remember the movie Troy more than I remember Gladiator. Troy with Brad Pitt. Do you remember that movie?
Nope.
You never saw Troy?
I probably did, but I've probably just forgotten them because I was young, bro.
So the reason I
Troy,
know
Gladiator,
I remember
300.
Troy, my parents bought the DVD. So growing up, the movies by heart are the movies that the DVDs were in the house because that was entertainment.
Either by DVD or a cassette.
A cassette, exactly. So I know we had the DVD for Troy, we had Jurassic Park, we had one of the Scooby-Doo movies. What the DVDs we have? Like these are random ass movies, bro. Like some movies that were boring, but you just watched because it was TV, bro. Things used to be so sad back in the day. But so yeah, Troy was dope. But I think for me the trailer was exciting.
Mhm.
There's like gonna be a water battle in the Coliseum, and I was like, oh shit. But like, I mean, obviously the star of the show was Denzel. Um, like, yeah, it's funny. It was I thought he was gonna have like so when I saw him in the movie, I was like, shit, is he gonna have like
An accent?
an accent? Yeah, European or Roman accent or whatever. Because like, how is he gonna pull? Obviously, he's an experienced actor, right? So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, I'm curious to see what it sounds like. And then I hear him speaking, and it's like full on American. I was like, of course, Denzel would be the American sounding Roman when America
Hmm.
didn't even exist at the time. At least I don't
Oh,
think it existed.
what do you think of that actually, before we even go any further? You think it's appropriate? Or you think it's like they should have gone and gotten someone who fits the times?
Ah, no, I like it because if they're gonna butcher us in Black Panther and what is that Viola Davis movie? Women Tomban Man.
A
You
woman
know the one?
king?
Yes, Woman King. So if they're gonna do that, then okay, fine. Lati as Abantu Bamnyama, we will go and we'll speak a sneaker or in the
This man said the sneaker.
this is a Kulumi sneaker in the Coliseum. Like hey, we might as well. We might as well. So I think that is my thoughts on that. I'm cool with it. I have no wahala. I'm excited. It looks
Okay.
interesting. It looks interesting.
Yeah,
But
and probably the only reason why if they made like another Gladiator and they were like some actors I didn't recognize, I
yeah,
know for a fact that I probably wouldn't be as excited to watch it as I am now with
yeah,
Denzel. Do you
yeah.
get what I
No,
mean?
definitely, definitely. It looks like there's a lot going on. Like when I watched the trailer, I saw at least like 4 or 5 plot lines where I'm like, huh. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're following Denzel because then also Pedro Pascal is a huge actor. So I know he's got some plot to him. And there were a couple other characters who seemed to be important. I think there's
Mm-hmm.
a someone who I would assume would be Caesar in the movie. I don't know, but like, yeah, it just seemed like there were a few important characters, and I was just like, I don't know. I just hope the movie is good. I just hope it's good.
Yes. No, me
Because
too. I
yeah.
think it'll be cool. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to go see. There's so many things coming out this year, man.
Have you seen Bad Boys yet?
Yes, that was good. That was
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, I
So,
did. I
so,
did.
so, so, what were your thoughts on? Is it Fast and closer to Fast and Furious now?
They're getting there.
Yeah,
When
you saw that.
I saw that, um, there's two scenes. There's the one where I texted you even during the movie where I'm like, this one, it's giving, it's giving Vin Diesel.
Which is it? The Reggie item.
Well, I don't want to spoil it for people, so
I don't know if you haven't seen Bad Boys at this point. It's like, guys, it's been out for more than a month. Like those who are really interested and care have seen it by now. The ones who don't
I
care, mute us for the next 1 minute. But yeah, are you
that
talking about the
scene, the
Reggie
Reggie
scene?
one,
That was
the Reggie
epic.
scene, and the plane scene.
Oh yes, Eee, that one. Yeah, yeah, that one was.
That was definitely Fast and
That was
Furious.
Fast and Furious. That one was definitely Fast and Furious. It was. Yeah, 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 yeah. I can definitely see that. The plane scene. There was another one where it was just like, okay, there's the shooting at like the art gallery. That one was also,
Yes,
it was
yes,
doing a lot.
yes.
It was doing
Yeah.
a lot. It was, but then also my thing, I kept thinking like this babe doesn't realize that she's dating an op the whole time. Like that's why I was like,
Mm-hmm.
come on,
Like,
dog. And she's supposed to be
Obon.
smart. So it's like, yeah, come on, dog. You
But
know?
I think that's the purpose of the thing. It's also becoming like I said, like you when you said Fast and Furious, I could see it when I watched the movie.
Yeah,
Um, the whole ensemble thing is gonna be a special ops and Don Donny
yeah,
direction, which is cool,
yeah.
man. It's exciting. I can't wait to see where they go with the franchise next, if they go somewhere next.
I wish they'd focus
But
on
yeah,
the
man.
the this the new the SWAT unit, the lighties. Like it's a dope team. The lighties plus Will Smith's son, the out of marriage son, that one. Or a
The
convict.
bastard.
The bastard. With Jon Snow, I got Bad Boys.
With
Um,
Jon Snow.
yeah, I think that's a movie right there, dog. Like outside of the bad boys themselves, I think there's
I think
something
they
there.
will. I
I
think they'll
think
do that.
there's a
I think they'll
spin-off
do
there.
that. You know who I've been impressed by? I actually didn't
Mm,
know she had the range
mm,
um, to do like an action flick like that.
mm.
Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She was
I'm
dope.
gonna I'm gonna go because usually it's hard for these Disney kids to.
Holidays together. But I feel like I've seen it in another one. I can't remember what it is. So I like
But
for
it's
me,
very,
it wasn't surprising.
but it's very
Um,
hard for these Disney kids to make it through onto
yeah, yeah, quite a lot
like
of them.
mainstream action films. Either they
Yeah,
go die in like rom-coms and comedies like Zac Efron,
yeah.
or they just don't.
No, but
Like it's
Zac
just not
Efron
something
did
they
he
do.
did good. Zac Efron did good. Like he when he was doing the stupid college boy movies and whatever, like that was his niche. It worked for him. So I
It's
was
still his
like, you know,
niche.
yeah, like it's
Every
but the
now and
problem is
again
that
he'll have a Netflix.
there's no serious movies that he can do. You know, he's the bro. Like I think he was in Baywatch. I liked Baywatch, the new Baywatch. That was funny.
The one with the rock.
The one with the rock. Yeah, yeah, that one was funny to me.
Yeah,
I
that was
liked it.
funny. That was funny. But
And
it almost like if you pigeonhole yourself into like shits and giggles, that's where you'll stay like forever.
yeah, what's that Seth Rogen movie where Zac Efron is there? I can't remember. It's where he's like the noisy
Um,
neighbors. They have a kid.
yes, neighbor something, bad neighbor or something like
Is it
that.
Bad Neighbor?
Yeah,
Ah,
something along those lines.
no, man. It's I think there's even two versions of that.
Yeah, there's two
Like
of them.
one
Yeah,
and
it's
two.
something about, yeah, I think it's bad neighbor, something like that.
But yeah, it was a dope movie. That was a
Yeah,
dope movie. I
quite
mean,
funny. It's quite funny.
anyway, we need to keep moving. When I see a message from the bank, it's like it's just
Stress.
deductions. It's just your account was debited for by it. So anyway, oh yes. So there was a tweet, and I need to just check my bookmarks. That was talking about men's icks. Oh man, that was funny. That was funny. So
Hey,
before I even get into that, I'm just seeing another bookmark that I found to be funny. So you know when we talk about Kate and Clark, Angel Reese, and all that kind of stuff, right? In the WNBA.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
Angel Reese did some sort of live video where she was addressing because like the jokes online have been about oh Angel Reese when she flies me out, or it was Bani 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 when she flies me out, you know, talking about the
Hmm.
WNBA hands and shit. So she
Yeah.
goes on video and says, "Hey, all you men who think that Mina I would ever think about flying you out, like, are you mad?" Like that's basically the spirit of the video. And
Hmm.
then niggas just started quoting it and replying in the comments saying, listen, if you don't got it, just say it. If you don't have the sheets to be flying, man them out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no need to
Like, why would
tense.
you say that though? Like, it's probably more fun to like play along.
That's the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Like,
it's just, it just,
it's
you
jokes.
didn't get the joke. That's number one.
Yeah,
The joke flew over your
but
head. It's not a
but
sit, like,
sometimes,
come on. Mm,
but sometimes that happens. I do find like I love women. I think women are amazing. You guys are
mm,
cool. Shout
mm.
out, special, the most
Okay.
powerful
Land, Mr. Land.
gender. Ukuthi nje sometimes nokuthatha izinto too serious. You know what I mean? Because
Exactly.
even with the men's X things, kwasokulama think piece.
Yeah.
From where?
For no reason. For no reason at all.
At all, man.
For
At
no
all.
reason.
At all.
So okay, so again, see, I'm going through my bookmarks. There's all these different things I've said I'll bring up. So I'm just spitting it out. So someone
Okay.
was on TikTok, some random person.
Mm-hmm.
And so the response was so funny. So she puts the caption is for girls only. How is that man treating you? Explain in cooking language so men won't understand. That's that's where we started. So comment number one. A professional chef. I like how he licks the plates. He be cooking the samp every time. What? He makes sure I finish 3 meals before he finishes his first one.
What?
I don't know how samp is in there because me, I'm reading samp as like samp,
Yeah.
the food. So I don't know. This guy's giving yeast infection. So
Dog.
I don't know what's going on there.
Ah,
But I'll look past
kanti
it.
liphila impilo ezinjani phandle lapha guys?
Bro. And it's like, so first of all, you're talking about Samp, and then your first line is, I like how he licks the plates. That's my brother. Like, hey, dog.
That ndlala is this.
Twillies. But yeah, so I mean the second sentence, he makes sure I finish 3 meals before he finishes his first. And we get what you're saying. We understand. We understand.
No, siyakuthola.
Yeah,
We understand.
Second comment.
I wouldn't go with Sam though.
I know. So this is the second comment. So I barely cook. There is load shedding. Sometimes power is gone for 2 days. At this point, I eat takeaways. So it sounds like we have a negligent partner who's not manning his post, and the party here has decided to outsource services.
Don't do that.
But I mean, hey, bro, what can we do in load shedding? Because that's what we've done. And says Fagizi solar, says Trilama pole. Like that we've done that. So like it's like, can we really
maphosa. No, kumele siye kuzesa. Sithi zesa, sicela silungisa amagetsi. You see? To translate, we must go to Zesa or Eskom or whoever it is, and then we say, no, can you please fix the electricity problem?
So
before going to that's a point of order.
Okay.
Angikunamanzi sengekho endlini maphosa. Angithi uye city council qala.
We must ensure service delivered.
Before uya komakhelwane uqalisa ukuthi hey sicela amanzi oye etown sicelana ibhohole. Hayi akwenziwa njalo. Kumele uqale ekhaya city council with the requisite authorities and talk to them. And then say, no, we need water. Access has been cut off. And then from there, they will sort you out.
Okay, I see. This is some very diligent analysis here, Mr. Moy. It's very important, these things. This one is a bit more damning, this comment. He's cooking rice, but whenever it starts boiling, he switches off the stove. So
okay, lazy, but this one's difficult.
Yeah. Why is my brother switching off the stove? It doesn't make sense. Or is the stove like, I'm sure you've experienced this at some point. It's one of the houses that you lived in. We all have that stove, guys. If you switch on the wrong plate, it will market. You see what, like sometimes, like I don't know, we had that at home. We had that one stove. We'd always know, this one don't switch on this one, because if you switch on this one, it trips the house, and then now everything is off. Yeah, so maybe my sister, turning the wrong knob. Ask him which stove tops are the ones that are working, and which one does not work. Because otherwise, you're tripping the whole thing.
I was about to say, what in Dabaya rice is very how can I put it? It's very difficult to educate and to navigate, because rice is very difficult to cook, Mr. Maposa, if you didn't know. It depends on the brand. I learned this very recently that
Wait, when you cook basmati, actually talking about rice?
I am, but I'm not. When you cook basmati, you need to have a different approach to when you cook tastic, and you need to have a different approach to when you cook mahatma.
It's not one size fits all.
Now, if you have chosen tastic,
you
have to cook it as per the tastic instructions. If you cook basmati, or if you've bought basmati and you're eating basmati for the rest of your life, you have to cook it in terms of the basmati instructions.
Yeah, because basmati, it doesn't want too much water. Otherwise, sometimes if you overcook it, no, I'm with you. I am with you.
You see, Maposa. It's very important you understand. Okay, no, fine. mina, as I am at this moment in time, I am
Uh-huh.
cooking basmati. Maybe I need to, I don't know, stir it kancane, or I need to add a bit more water, or maybe I must add a bit more, seasoning, maybe salt in the pot, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit of oil. It just depends, right?
And yeah,
But what you can't
sometimes it's not
do,
even, you can't even, it's a thing of, you think you need to use a pot, but you need a rice
yabo,
cooker. Yabo.
you
Like
need a rice
sometimes you need a
cooker.
rice cooker, something that's just on auto, Otherwise, if you try to do it manually, it's not make sure. Yabo.
Exactly.
It's not make
You
sure.
see,
So
you get it.
these are very important things. This is even worse. Next comment goes, 20. Oh, this is wild. Sometimes the wooden spoon disappears into the pot. That sounds wild.
Okay.
The maths is not quite
Uh,
mathsing.
it's matching, but then I'm not sure what's the problem. Is the problem the spoon, or is the problem the pot?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's very difficult, this one, Mapos, because you can't use a upino rumani in a big pot. You ever seen emakaya?
You can't
They have
stir,
the
bro.
Swagwafika emakaya.
Uh,
Emakaya, they have the big pot,
yeah.
and they have the gigantic pin, because the
Yeah.
big pin needs a big
Them
pot.
regan.
Mhm. You are not going to sugela a big pot, uzopheka isitshwala, and cook sadza with a very small pin. It's not going to work.
It's not.
Uh, Similarly, you can't have a giant
Yeah.
pin
Yeah.
and then want to be also that little pot, the little black one.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Those are
You're just
human
going to
rights
pega and boss.
violations. Those are human rights
So
violations, those ones.
in summation, Mr. Maps, I think what I'll say is
Yeah.
it's very important for all parties
Mm.
to find the suitable pot for their pin, or to find the suitable pin for their pot. And be
The pot
honest
to
about
penny
that.
ratio, or the penny to pot ratio, is very important for people to
It's very
understand.
important.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because if any of it is not proportional, you have a problem. Now, most of the time, you'll find that the pot and the penny will go, because usually it works, because there's a standard penny and there's a standard pot, and there's a range of pot which you can use one pin.
Exactly. For the vast majority of your cooking, usually there's no issues. But then there's those outliers. There's that tiny, tiny pot. And then there's the poto. Same thing with the pini.
Now,
yeah. Gotcha.
This conversation is not about schwala or sadza, but I would also say it is very important that when you're cooking sadza, or when you're cooking schwala, don't take shortcuts, Mr. Maposa.
Okay.
What
do you mean?
Don't just rush to gogozela the poo in the pot. You must phehla the item first.
No, first the vat must boil, is it? Boil the vat.
And wabilise ngaphi? Wabilise embizeni. Lokho selikwenza these days ukuthi uqala uthi kettle ngapha. Hawu, bathu. Ubilisa amanzi embizeni, engabila, usuthi impuphu, pour your impuphu and your mealie meal, your maize meal, or whatever it is, inside the pot, and then you phehla. So to phehla, I don't know what to phehla is in Shona. Do you know what it is? I don't know what it is in English. I just know it's called upehla. Okay. I don't know how I would put it for my non-Nguni speaking people. What's upehlo in? No, but it's the one with the wire, right?
Oh, like a mixer. So like if you've ever done baking, you are manually. Oh, I've seen people who've done that actually with the mixer. Who've been doing it. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, with the mixer, like when you're making like
like for baking. People are peslaring pap with the baking mixer.
It's you people in South Africa. It's you people in South Africa. I've never seen Zimbabweans do that, or residents of Zim do that. But I've seen, I think it was maybe a TikTok of some random South African buddy. They were using the mixer. And it was,
guys are now,
come on, guys.
You guys are now using powerful tools to achieve this purpose.
Heavy machinery. Look at your mother. Your mother's right hand is combat, because she was within. She was
but it needs
strong.
effort. You know, to cook, is Charlie said it, to cook perfectly made salsa, Mr. Maps. Let the pot boil, take your peso, pesa the item slowly, and then leave it with water for maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and then you can bond. Don't just rush to kokoza and then chuck the item inside. Ngapa, you boiled the water in the kettle and you're using a baking mix. There's too many shortcuts. Too many shortcuts.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. We've got two more comments to get through. One is good. The other one is concerning. So we'll start with the good one. This individual said last night he left the stove on high. My milk boiled over, causing a mess on the whole kitchen counter and floor.
That's powerful, Bab.
Yeah,
no.
It's Charlie
the stove. That's a chef.
You know, when you have to clean the stove afterwards, you know what I mean, bro? Like, powerful. Yeah. That means that, you know, you was putting in that work. So I mean, shout out to the chef. Compliments to the chef out there. We hope you're listening to
Big up yourself.
Big up yourself, my guy. And then this one, the last comment says, I think he prefers rinsing the carrots than putting it in the pot.
I'm confused. No, I'm actually confused. Because what do you mean rinse the carrot? Akafuna ukupheka, ufuna ukugeza ama-carrot achiya khonapho kunjalo.
Yeah. But
that's
my interpretation is uchef nguye umnikazi wama carrots, or in this case, a carrot. Yeah. So I would read this as he prefers his carrot rinsed than to put it in the pot. That's how I'm interpreting this.
It's very philosophical, this one.
So I don't know.
To put on another spoon.
That's the way that I'm interpreting that. You know, that's the way I'm understanding that. Because it just at that point, it's like, you know, sometimes if you're doing, you know, and when you hit him with the hot tour, right? It's a bit, it's very squeaky clean. And if you do a good job, then it's like, I don't need to throw the item in the pot. You know what I mean? Like, it could be one of those. Maybe she's doing too good a job. So we would advise this particular individual that, you know, maybe, you know, don't rinse so thoroughly. You know, just fa, and then, you know, toss it in the pot and let the pot do the rest of the business.
Yes. Let the pot cook. Don't just rinse and eat. It's not the same. Like, fine. You won't enjoy your carrots.
My goodness. Right, Mr. Boy. Let's get to where we were meant to be. So this individual tweets out, I want to hear men's icks, right?
Okay.
I'll just go through all of them. You let me know what stands out to you. So this guy, because you know, some guys are just aggressive for no reason. He goes, so this is what he lists as men's icks: being a nurse, has ugly relatives, goes to Zayocha Church, skin bleacher, this must be a Zimbabwean, goes to or went to MSU. That one I can see why, because MSU is scandalous. Types how are you is HW and then the letter R and then the letter U. Or replies with the letter M and types good is GUD. I can agree with that one. No ambition. Follows Vana Madam Titi. I don't know who Madam Titi is. Do you know who Madam Titi is?
I see what about these thingies. These I don't know, Zim celebs, Zim influencers, the Zim baddies. I think. I'm not sure. I guess it'd be similar to someone saying follows or Mihlali and those people.
Okay. I see.
And looks at them as some sort of industry experts.
Okay.
And as role models.
Fair enough. I can see that. This one is wild. Pretends to like football to impress men. I got hoodwinked by that. But I'm not mad at that.
You told me the story.
It means you're putting in effort. I'm not mad at that. I think that to me is like, yo, if you manage to scam me into a relationship, well done. Like,
But I can see how it can be an ick, right?
eh.
Because what does it mean? Does it mean that every time you meet a guy, you're gonna be supporting a new team and you're just,
Oh yeah, that's how
you
these fans
know,
are, bro. Yeah, that's how they are. They
no,
have no
man.
loyalty to any team. Like it's very few that you'll find, oh no, this is my team, blah, blah, blah. Most of them, it's your boyfriend's team or it's your husband's team. And it's like, I like it like that. Because now imagine if my wife is like, oh, I'm loyal to Man U, like, what? That's gonna annoy me. So when she
No, I
stepped
don't think it will.
into
I
my
think that
house, I
would
was
be
like,
like,
we are a Chelsea household. And now all of us in the house, we wear blue. So it's great. I like it.
my wife said, I don't really blame her to be honest,
Uh,
because so she's not really a football person.
uh,
But whenever there's like a game, I'll be like, yeah, game today, we're watching football. And then she's
yeah,
like, down, right? So initially, like in the initial stages, when we went to visit one of our friends and there was a game,
yeah.
and they're like, so what team do you support? The United? Like, no, Man City. It's like, hey. And
That was awkward.
her approach to it was very simple. No, it wasn't really, but her approach to it was very simple. It
Uh,
was a I just saw the team that was winning, and then I just like, yeah, I don't like losing. Okay,
I
fair
like
enough.
it. I like it. She's a winner. I like it. I like it. I can go with that. What's next? Oh, I think this is more for men, but anyway, he says Hela and Iri mu midfield. Eh, I don't know if I've seen a woman with a hairline that's bad. I really don't. Like,
You
not
haven't lived.
really. Like, no, but
Do you
midfield,
know
midfield is
what?
wild, bro. I've seen plenty
Do
of men
you,
whose hairline is midfield, but I haven't seen like,
do you know what people are hiding under those wigs?
oh, you see, because me,
It's not pretty
I take things
under
at face
there.
value, yeah, but that's the thing. So me, if I
Oh
see
no
you and
no.
you've got the wig on, like my assumption is that your hair starts there, unless it's if it's your natural hair, then it's like, okay, that's really where it starts. So I'm a guy's guy, dog. Like it's just what I see is
What you
gospel.
see is what it is.
It is what it is. Uh, Toa has no signature sent. I kind of hear this. I kind of hear this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Fair
can see
enough.
that. I can see that. And then he goes, if she's asthmatic. I
How is that an ick?
don't know. That's what I'm saying, bro. How is that an ick, bro? Let her breathe, dog. Like, come on. That's not fair. And then the last one is kind of
Mm-mm.
harsh. I don't
Mm.
know. Yeah, it is harsh. No father. That's
Oh,
yeah, it's kind of mean.
that's dark.
Yeah, it's kind of mean. But
Is the context that one?
nope. Literally, that's it. But which, to be fair, when people are now complaining about some things that people are not doing online, it's like people will term it as fatherless behavior, right? So you
I
can
see
see,
what you mean, and that's
yeah,
probably where a lot of people are going with that. It's like, okay, maybe if there was a strong disciplinarian at home, whatever. But I mean, I don't think that we can have a whole conversation. I don't think having a father or not influences how you turn out and how you behave. Sometimes it's just you. Let's not denigrate responsibility.
yeah. Nah, that was it, bro. That was the list. I'm trying to see. I thought I took a screenshot of the other related messages to this Indaba. But what are your icks,
My
Mr. Boy?
ex.
Yeah.
Hmm. Do I have X? I do have X. I do have X,
Tell us.
actually. Bad odor.
Yeah,
But I
that's
don't
fair.
know. Yeah, I think all of those are X.
Uh,
Can't make good food. I think it's not like these aren't red flags, by the way. These aren't like no. Like it's
mm.
not like strike you out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like, okay,
It's like I'd rather you
what
didn't.
I'd rather you didn't, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Eh, I was about to say this is an ick, but that's a red flag. You get to the club and she hugs the bouncer, but that's
Oh
not an ick.
yeah, that's
That's
a red
beyond
flag.
an ick.
Yeah.
Um, hmm,
So
an ick.
this is what someone said related
Yeah,
to the same discussion. Said men tolerate X all the time. It's not the end of the world. There's men out here who see good in an evil woman simply because she's got a fat ass. Men actually need to be stricter.
I think so. I think so. Um, Hey, dude, remember there was a conversation, I'm not sure if it was a tweet, where they're
Eh.
like, um, my parents knew the places I've driven to because of like as men, we tolerate a lot. Like, hey, go on land, where are you? Hey, I'm
Bruh,
at Delagofa.
bruh, bruh. There's places in the skies that I've seen there, and I'm just like, if the Lala was tracking the each dogs, like, I'm sure my that's would really. You check on Find My Friends, you're like, bruh, what are you doing?
I know
Like,
one of
aye,
your
aye, aye.
icks.
Uh,
Although I think for you this might even be a deal breaker, but I think it's an ick. You and one of our listeners.
what, eating avocado?
Um, no, an accent, like
Oh,
just a
yeah.
weird,
Yeah, no.
weird.
If you sound gouache, it's not working, dog. Your gouache is not gonna work, dog. Like it's just live. It's just live. Let's not be offended.
Would that
It
be
is.
an ick or a deal breaker?
I mean, just like that other brother says, like, men do they see good in evil women. So we can term it as a it. Because like, yeah, you might, puff up your chest and be like, "No, I feel me a quash stages. Hey, worry. But then let the right quash stage bump into you, you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. So for me, I'd like to think it's a deal breaker. But also
Okay.
gouache has levels, right? So like it just depends. It just depends on the level of gouache. So yeah. It,
Okay.
and the
Yeah.
people get so triggered when you call them gouache, bro. Like it's
Because no one likes that word.
no, but like, hey, bro, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, to be fair, it's not nice. It's not nice to be called gouache. Like I think when what people confuse it with, right, is if Senna knows he's not gouache, right? But Senna is the type of guy I've seen you do gouache things here and there, right? And then I can laugh at you and be like, Senna, you're being gouache, so that's so gouache, da, 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 da. Like you're not gonna take it personally, right?
Yeah. It's
You
like
know,
that's who I am.
yeah, but also on the spectrum, it's like, yeah, genuinely, I feel like you're only touched if you're like gouache, and someone
If
calls
I
you
believe
gouache,
it.
then it's like, then I can see people getting touched by that. But like, I've been like, bro, my wife has laughed at me, like, bro, you're being gouache. Like, it's just like, okay, it is what it is. Like, Oksala, I'm still going to, quarter the lead of the locuzin of the yogurt. It is what it is, So,
Mhm.
shit like that. But anyway, yeah, it's funny when the gouache conversation comes up on Twitter every couple of months.
Oh, it
The
does.
thing,
And then Kandoro's always like the forefront of it. And then it always develops into the same conversation about private school, public school,
hey,
and then I just check
hey.
out.
But to be fair to the people, shout out to everybody out there, bro. I haven't seen that. Like I feel like we've progressed. I don't know to say as a nation or as a continent. I don't know. Some of these are repetitive. So I've seen the private school one did flare up at some point. I can't remember what triggered it. Um, but like the gouache, I don't think we've had any conversation about people being gouache this year. I haven't seen
No,
it.
no, not about that. I know typically what happens annually it comes up.
Mm.
So at the beginning of every year or at the end of every year when Falcon releases their school fees. Then
Oh
people
man.
start.
Yeah, but hey, the school fees that when those are struggling to pay school fees there, that's where we saw. Yeah. Hey, yeah, those are tough times. But anyway, so this guy, the Shaddai of South Africa, I think I assume this guy tweets from South Africa because I've seen him tweet and think in Zulu and whatever, right? But South
Yeah.
Africa's Shaddai, this is one of those tweets where it's like,
Is it void?
yeah, that one. This controversial opinions, bro. But so he tweets on that same tweet of I want to hear men's icks, and this is low key. I think it's fair, and I'm curious to hear what you feel. One, taking too long to give up bumps. Two, giving up bumps too quickly. I feel like there's a point there. Like it's a weird like, and I think it goes on both sides, men and women, right?
Yeah.
Like it's weird. It's weird. Like,
More so men, to be honest.
you think so?
Yeah, I think men are more judgmental of women when it's like easy. And that's only because probably of how we we look at the other gender. Um, and how almost because okay, here's something. If you meet someone and then the very first time you guys do the deed,
Yeah.
I do think there's a part of you in the back of your mind, both of y'all, by the way, not just men and women, but I think men think this more. It's like, so very, very enkle when you just meet people,
Color ones. Which, I mean, again, so you mean like if I never knew you and we met at Groove type situation, right? Not someone you've been like marinating for like a few weeks, days, months, whatever.
Yeah, we met at Groove, we met at Lebrai, and then
yeah, as risky behavior. That's number one.
Yes.
But to be fair, on both sides, yeah, I can see, but it's hard to judge, right? Because it's like, how are you judging it? You were also there operating, right? Like
that's
this
what I'm saying. It's
person
very
wasn't teeing
hypocritical.
themselves.
It's very hypocritical. It's very, very hypocritical. So
Fair.
once you're like, no,
Yeah, because
actually,
I
I
would
think
respect you if she comes on to you and like, hey, Senna, let's do the deed. And then you're like, nah, bro, I don't on the first date. Like, I just met you. I don't know who you are. I respect that. That's like, hey, bro, you've got principles. But like, again, I have not met a dude who moved that way. As soon as guys see the bat signal out, it's like you close the deal. Like that's just.
But it would be so the context in which it would be an ick, right? Is let's say maybe you now want to date that person or that person wants to date you.
Yeah.
Then
I
you're
think
now in the back of
if
your
you
mind.
get that information, then yes, it is. Right. Would hey, bruh, like, yeah, even on the first date, it's, saying it's like, I don't know about that.
Yes. And
But
even
then
for the hand, right? It's like
yeah.
so tricky when you just pick up people and then
Yeah.
you can and then without due diligence or whatever.
But I think typically when people do operate like on game day, it's usually like that's not going anywhere. I don't think. Like
You reckon?
I don't know. I've never been in a relationship where I met someone on the first time, and that became a relationship. Like I've never, at least me. So I don't know if people have stories. We met wherever, we did the things, same day delivery, Amazon Prime, and we dated. Right? Let us know.
I'm sure there's many stories. Oh, we met at Groove. Yeah, I'm sure Akona. I'm sure there's many. Oh, we met at Groove and then we
same
went
day,
home.
bruh. Like it's different. Met at Groove, we danced together, maybe even made out, right? Sure. Like that I can see. But first time. Hey. Guys, I don't know. I don't know if that's I don't think personally that the relationship can last long if that's the case. That's just my personal view. No judgment on anybody. If you are married today, shout out to you and your person. So I honestly am not judging. I found another tweet, two others. One says standing behind the DJ at Groove. That's definitely grounds. That's one. Then this person,
that's not an ick.
Nah, that's an ick, bro. What are you doing behind the
DJ? I think it's beyond an ick.
It's a red flag.
Yeah, I think it's a red flag.
Like, listen, especially if it's like, listen, if the DJ is your boy, all right, cool. If you got VIP tickets, all right, cool. But like, yeah, no, it's giving too much groupie. Like, you know what I mean? It's just too much.
I know. But I think yes, groupie behavior.
Yeah,
that's a big ick.
Yeah, groupie behavior is long, bro. It's long. So this person also quoted with their own list. They said a groove raccoon. Is that what we're calling these days? Groove raccoon, poor hygiene, can't dress, mean girl aesthetic. As a man, type of yeah, that's a definite ick.
The mean girl aesthetic I see. You see it a lot with Joburg girls because I think
you see that.
I think you just see that whole maybe no. I guess they're trying to be strong and confident, but sometimes it can come across as
sometimes it misfires unnecessarily. Where it's like, cut it chief, like I remember I made eye contact with this one lady at the gym, bro. She just looked angry, and I was just like, so I smiled, and then she stayed looking angry, and I was like, yo, that's creepy as hell, bro. Her expression didn't change, and I was like, yo, okay, okay, sharp, and I moved on. So what else is here? Yeah, so Toa can open a bottle cap with her teeth. A skipping steps when climbing a staircase, and in brackets it said be a lady.
No, because Jackin.
But he's strict, guys. Yo, he's strict. Zero accountability. I'm good as an AM and then good. Celebrating her birthday at the club. I don't know about that one.
Nah, that's not too bad.
Has an alcohol highlight on her IG. Yeah, that's long.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
That's long.
That like that's an ick though, because it's like I'll try lang.
Yeah,
Like when you're
it's
not
act like you've
posting
been
my
there
way
before, bro.
and
Like, is this not regular? Yeah, is this not your life?
even if it's
This
not your life, don't act too excited. Like
Yeah, calm down, calm down. This next one is hilarious. Posting that brat store after giving bums.
yes, I would go further to be like, why are you telling us? We don't need to know.
Yo, that's so funny.
That means there's nothing you can keep to yourself.
It's like, hey guys, I just need the next. That's hilarious. And then the last one is when she
Sorry,
eats more than
okay, no, I'll ask you this offline.
okay. The last one is when she eats more than 5 slices of bread. Yo, Ali strict.
Awu
Ali
bafo,
strict. How
mfowethu,
many? How
good
many?
man. 4 slices, how? Ah, when you can come to a nappy pry. In fact, fry the meat.
Prime master. Said so. Yeah, wait.
Wow.
So you're saying 5 is a span?
It's a span dog.
Okay, 4.
Even that's pushing it.
That's 2 sandwiches, bro.
Yeah.
That's 2 sandwiches.
I know.
You skip a
Like I
span.
said, it's not a red flag. It's just like
Yeah.
an X. Like, yeah, that's my sister.
No, I skip me at 5, right? 5 slices of bread. I would look at you and be like, yo, hey, ukhona, like 5 is,
You
I
are
think,
here.
but four makes sense. 4, I look at it as, look, that's 2 sandwiches. I can easily clear that myself.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not bad, but,
Yeah, no. I guess when you put it as 2 sandwiches, then you're
yeah,
sharp. But then I eat 2 sandwiches and I suta.
yeah.
So
Awufuna mayisiko utasuthi.
Ngasuthu mayisipho kodwa kumele sihambe nje vele sibe ngosoza inyama sonke masejim.
So what about what about wings?
That's very interesting, Mr. Maps.
Yeah.
What number of wings would
Yeah,
give
what
you
number
an
of wings?
ick? Don't go beyond 8. I think
Okay.
once you're going beyond 8,
Okay. I'd give it a range. I'd say anywhere between 6 to 10 is cool. 6 to 10 wings,
yeah,
I think
probably
is,
actually.
anywhere in that spectrum, fair. But that's just wings. If you got fries, then maximum is like, nah, I'm kidding. With fries, no fries, whatever. 6 to 10. If you clear 14 wings, bro, like
Although
14
I
plus
think,
fries.
although
That's
I will say
uh,
this particular line of conversation is very anti-African
also,
because I think, or anti-African and anti-American, because I think we tend to eat a bit more than
no, but set up
European
14
people.
wings, dog. I can't, like, I can, like, there was a time I cleared 14 wings and I felt terrible. Like, they was just trying for Bukwaba. That literally was it. But I think the sweet spot
But you're like,
is like 10, 8 to 10. That's a
I
that's a
guess
sweet spot.
so. I wonder why women eating a lot of food gives men the ick. I'll say the ick.
The question. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just kind of, that's probably societal standards. With you must be a lady and whatever. But me personally, listen, if you're with me, we gonna eat, bro. That's just the honest truth. We'll eat. Like, I
Mm.
rarely ever judge of, like, you'd have to do some truly wild shit for me to be like, you know.
Suffer.
So yeah, no, I'm easy. I'm easy. When it comes to food, I'm easy. I'm easy. But anyway, we have to keep it moving, Mr. Bird. That was the Twitter
Yeah, well,
bookmarks
yes.
segment of the podcast. Eh, all right, so oh man, this Trump's assassination. Give me 2 seconds on that. Do you believe it was real? Attempted assassination.
I'm conflicted, dog.
Mm,
I am so conflicted about this. I
mm,
still am. I was on Saturday,
mm.
only because it was so convenient.
Yeah.
Like, and by convenient, I mean everything that happened about it was convenient. One, it's in the run up to an election.
Mm,
His counterparty is struggling in the polls, and he looks
mm.
like he's got dementia, and he's senile between the two. Um, the bullet grazed his ear. The shooter was killed immediately afterwards. Um, immediately, the biggest red flag for me, right?
Mm.
Immediately after being shot, no one is running for cover or scampering or
Yeah, the
anything.
people behind him. I was like, yo, guys, like, is that not a bullet? But I heard people died. I didn't look into it
Someone
properly.
died. Yeah, there's one person who apparently the bullet missed Trump and hit him, or it hit him, then hit Trump between the two. So apparently one person died from that shot, and then the shooter himself was killed, so he can't even say anything. And then you've got a situation and a scenario where, right, you've got a situation and a scenario
Mm.
where immediately after being shot, he gets up
Mm.
and he's waving his fists and he's very exposed. So in my mind, I'm like, well, if I just been shot at,
Yeah,
the first thing I'm doing is running for cover.
he was a bit
I'm not about
performative.
not about to stop and have a photo op with my fists raised. It felt very convenient in that sense. However, for the
Mm.
purposes of being balanced,
Mm.
if he was really shot, I don't think he'd be brave enough to stage being shot that close to his head if he was shot.
You mean if it was fake?
Yes, if it was staged or whatever it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
and if he was actually shot or shot at,
yeah.
I don't. I think
Too
that's
much
too
can go
close to
wrong.
his head. Too much can go wrong. The
Yeah.
leeway. The only other conspiracy is he wasn't shot, and then there was just a bullet somewhere, and then they got down, and then they thingied his ear to make it look like he's injured. But anyways, I don't know, dude. I'm conflicted. I don't know what do you think? How do you feel?
Um, yeah, I'm with you. I'm 50-50. So like obviously I'm like, hey, Trump, so high likelihood it could have been staged, but like what you just said, which is that's a huge risk because if that shooter misses by an inch, half an inch, centimeters, that's your life, you know, like that's, irreparable damage if you survive. So that's where I'm like, I don't know. But um it's very, very convenient at the end of the day. A lot of things happened by the fact that he survived. A lot has happened in terms of his favor, and the polls and stuff
Mm,
like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Like and obviously Biden are not really helping themselves. I'm still not impressed by anything that they do.
nope.
So I'm just glad I don't live in America. So, I might just renew my visa in September, October, just in case. But other than that, yeah, it's a bit of a it did take over the
Terrible,
internet for a
man.
while. It took over the internet for a while. And obviously people had their say. I think people were more suspicious and also jokey about it just because he survived. I wonder what the
Mm-hmm.
temperature would have been if he actually died.
If you had actually had been shot, it would be
Yeah.
different. I actually think America would be in a very serious crisis. And I'm talking Civil War moment if Trump had been killed.
You think so?
Um, Not full on Civil War, but
Uh,
like tensions between
oh yeah, it'd be
this
tense.
the left and the right. I think it would be tense.
Yeah, it'd definitely be
Because
tense.
what do you mean you've gunned down our presidential candidate in the run up to elections?
Yeah.
Um, no, and they'd always blame the libs and the establishment and whatever, it would make all those conspiracy theories that Trump used to say almost true. The rigging elections, the White House is captured, bloody blah, bloody blah, bloody blah.
So, I mean, let's leave it there for now. Let's see.
We'll see how it unfolds, man.
Up. I actually wanted to just have all this, in 30 minutes so that we can talk football. But we gave you all 55 minutes of content. Now, to the more important things. It's not coming home. It's not coming home.
England, a very successful hate watch.
Yeah, absolutely successful. And so just quick overview, guys. The Euros just ended, and the finals were Spain versus England, and England was beaten by Spain by a score of 2-1. That's the headline. I personally, I've been an England fan for a long time, but obviously, for me as a fan, I get turned off a lot by other fans, right? If you're now wilding and being arrogant, then it's like, I'd rather you guys not win. So I've just kind of been in. Because obviously the Premier League is my favorite league. I support the Chelsea players or any players that I like, So I'll support England for that for them. So for me, my perfect scenario leading up to the final was Cole Palmer scores, but England lose. That was, for me, I was like, perfect. I need my guy to shine, get his little bit of shine, and if England lose, that's perfect. And it played out exactly like that. So it's been very, very interesting to watch all the English media react to England losing, because when they beat, it had been everybody shitting on England through all the games because they were not impressive. Out of the 7 games played, I think they only won 2 outright. And of which one of those 2 was within 90 minutes, I think.
So, the other one, I mean, the one was extra time, and then the other one was
2 were in 90 minutes, right? The Netherlands game go to extra time.
Oh, sorry. No. So it's 2 in 90 minutes, 1 in extra time. Yeah. So they won 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games. If you include, with the group stages, yes, 3 games.
Excluding the penalty shootout.
Yeah. Versus, but I mean, no, but 2 games outright in the sense that, what are the 3 games that they won?
So they beat Serbia in the first game.
Yeah, but 2 games were won. What I'm saying is 2 games were won in regulation in 90 minutes. And then that other one,
so it was just the 2.
Or Slovakia was extra time.
Yeah, Slovakia was extra time.
Yeah. And then the other one was a penalty shootout. And then the other one draws
against Switzerland. So draws.
Yeah, so it wasn't really a great performance coming into it. But when they beat the Netherlands, there started to be a change, which is, Gareth Southgate might just do it. Blah blah blah. We have the better players than Spain. Maybe Singapore Chuma, blah blah blah. Right? Final happens, and in my mind, I was like, I felt bad for Southgate because like, bro, they're building you up. You won the semifinal. All of a sudden, the tune has changed. And I was like, if he loses, it's late. Because they built him up a few days leading up to the final. And then as soon as they lost the final, same people on TalkSport, Andy Goldstein and co, all those guys turned, Southgate is a failure.
It's incredible how it switched, right?
Bro, I was loving every single minute. It was a national
crisis. It was a crisis the 3 weeks leading up to the Holland game. Then they beat Holland. And then it was like, okay, no, cool. Football's coming home. He's done a good job. We're almost there. We're on the brink of history. I can just feel it. Something's different. I know Southgate. That's not a proper football coach, man.
No, you know what? Southgate is a caretaker. And that's what frustrated me about the commentary when people were starting. Anyone who was pro Southgate, I was like, this guy is tactically inept. He came from Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough, I don't know if they're even in the championship.
No, he got them relegated from the
Premier League.
And then he went to the England junior setups. And then he worked his way up from there, from like the under 21s. And then he eventually got the main job as interim and then as full-time coach.
And you know what's funny about how I feel like the British media are dwas, because in my mind, I think it's very, very simple as to why England, despite having a great pool of players right now, amazing players, that they can't get it done. Number one, you had a coach that was tactically inept, out of his depth. That's number one. Number two is, what is English football, right? And the reason why I say that is, there's English football, and then there's the football your players are playing. Because your players who are majority in the Premier League, if not all of them, are being coached by foreign coaches who instill foreign tactics and different types of, anti-British football training. So if you look at British football, is what you see majority in the Championship and the lower leagues. That is British football, English football, right? But at the top, you're talking about Klopp, you're talking about Pep, you're talking about Arteta, Pochettino, who's coaching? Oh, good evening, Tom Bando, Aston Villa, Emery. Like all these different. Eddie Howe is the one, the random Englishman who's up there in the Premier League, but everybody else, it's all foreign coaches. So
but he went to he went to do like an internship with Simeone, so that's how he came back and became.
And even Potter had to coach from outside the country, but I don't know if he was like Spain or whatever, or he just went to like Scotland or some shit. But like you have these guys, these amazing players who play amazing in the Prem because they're playing with foreign tactics, right? And you give them a British manager, and they're just like, chief, so what are we doing? If you look at the way Pep coaches, that guy is like, he's a abusive coach, because that nigga is so controlling, bro. Like, you see him on the pitch, if you're an inch out of line, like, he's losing his shit. Same thing with Jurgen Klopp. Even Arteta, he's hey, we're gonna switch, hey, we're gonna do this, do that. Like, they take a lot of the thinking out of the players' minds and put them in the best positions, right? And which is why now people are looking at Foden funny, because it's like, hey, bro, without Pep Pillar, you're looking kind of regular. Like, how good are you really? Is it? And I keep telling you guys, anyone coached by Pep, anyone coached by Klopp, namely Mohamed Salah, like, guys, there's so much those guys deserve that they owe those coaches, because without those coaches, I'm convinced Foden might be good, but he's not player of the year. Like, if you take him,
but he was player of the year.
Yeah, because he's no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, when you put him with Pep, like, it's the difficult thing when you have a great coach and a great team, right? And which is why I used to say this about Messi at Barcelona. Barca was so good, right? Already Barca was at 90%. Messi takes them to 150%. Yeah, like, it's just like, where do we even start? If Barcelona is half ground, like, Puyo will be sitting at the half line, which is insane as a centre back. But that's how good at keeping the ball.
I think that's unfair.
These guys were. I don't think it's unfair.
I think that's unfair.
How is it unfair?
And it is because we've actually seen them play. We've seen them do ridiculous things with football at their feet. I mean, things which you can't coach. So,
but it's about
I do
environment,
believe,
right? So for Senna to be great, if I'm your coach and I create an environment for you to show your greatness, it's very difficult. Like, obviously, like Jude, right? If you go back to England, they were winning in spite of Southgate. All the goals England was scoring, bicycle kick by Jude, long throw headed by Tony, and then put in the net by Kane. Cole Palmer, moment of brilliance. Bukayo Saka, cut in, moment of brilliance. Like, there was nothing tactically where he was like, all right, guys, gunje, and goals were scored. You look at Spain's goals were created from, this is how we play. And if we play this way, we score goals.
So I think you're contradicting yourself slightly, because what I'm saying is those players were hamstrung by Southgate. At least some of them, not all of them.
Yes.
But I think some of them were hamstrung by Southgate. I mean, he threw Foden on the left wing with no overlapping winger. Foden doesn't even play left wing.
So you think he was set up for success? There.
No, he set them up to fail.
Sorry, he set them up for failure.
He said even Saka was set up to fail. And how was Saka get the ball as a wing back? He hasn't played that position in 5 years.
But he looked decent as a wing back. He just looked shit when he was playing in his natural position.
Nah, he was just terrible.
Yeah, Saka looked suspect, bro. He had the game where he scored was the only game where he popped off the screen for me. I think that was the semi-final, right? Was it?
But that's the problem, right? Saka's a brilliant footballer, but at this tournament he looked a shadow of himself. And that's just because the way they were set up, that was a disadvantage. Because what do you mean you've got Trent in midfield and then Trippier at right back? You're basically playing with 70% of the field. And then to make it worse, he didn't even have any wingers, like overlapping wingers on the right.
Yeah.
So in my opinion,
and everything was reactionary. They go a goal down. Yeah. Oh, Palmer, get in there. Hey, it was when he get in there. Who did he like? He liked Palmer, and there was another sub that he kept bringing on.
Watkins.
Watkins came on twice. Tony. There was someone who was always coming in with who was replacing Kane. Hey, Kane is another one. Yo. Hey. He looked bad.
The funny thing is, it's not the first time. It's not the first time for him. Remember when Spurs played, was it Liverpool in the Champions League final? And then he looked like he wasn't fit.
Someone said it's because by the end of when he gets to the finals, by the end of the season, his legs are gone. He's shot, which is possible. So. But then now, and this is the thing that annoyed me about England, like everyone could predict the starting lineup. So as poor as they're playing, Bellingham, who didn't have the greatest of tournaments, guaranteed a starting spot. Kane, we already spoke about him, guaranteed a starting spot. Foden, playing like shit, guaranteed a starting spot. Like, and you're trying to force someone in, like, and you're saying you're putting Foden in the wrong position. Then put Anthony Gordon there if he's going to be more successful, right? Like, what's going to happen? He was so scared. He was so much of a coward that if I put in the guy who actually plays in this position and we lose, and this big Manchester City guy, player of the year, is on the bench, then, which to be fair, the media would cook him, right? And he was banned. But like, you need a coach that has the balls to be like, no, he doesn't fit the system. And that's why Mourinho was booted out of Manchester United, because he was like, Loga Kwani, this one is inept, get him out. And people were like, no, we like these guys.
But I would go further with Southgate. I would say he needed to change the shape of the whole team. Like, you can't go into a big tournament without a left back, bro.
Waiting for Luke Shaw
from your left-hand side
to come, who hasn't started a game since February. And you're like,
came in the final.
I mean, I knew he was cooked.
Some of those decisions,
when he put out the Calvin Phillips line, that's where I was like, yeah.
and then after that, what killed me is he replaces Trent with Gallagher. And I'm like, my guy, you have the very simple solution. Everyone, this was staring him in the face, because I don't think, I may joke about Bellingham and say that at number 10, he looks like McTominay, because at number 10, he looks like McTominay, but he's a much better midfielder than that. And I think he's a number 8, because 10 needs guys who can get the ball in tight spaces. Foden, Palmer, Bruno, Odegaard. Those are number 10s. Bellingham isn't a 10. So now he gets the ball, he loses it, and then he goes on these weird runs, and you're like, my guy. The solution is staring at you in the face. But anyways, that was funny. I think Southgate, that's not a proper football coach. And I think England have wasted an opportunity, because I'm not sure if they'll have an easier draw or an easier route to a final again after this.
Yeah.
Because next World Cup, you might be drawn with Brazil, Argentina, or even...
It was
Ghana,
so kind. Even
like that.
The other tournaments where they've progressed, it's like, if you dig into who did they play, and it's just like, Southgate really doesn't look that great, because again, any competent coach with that crop of players, like I said, players who were just, like the goal that Jude scored, these guys were heading out, and Jude comes up with some magic, and it's like, y'all were on the verge of like the last minute, 95th of 96 minutes, you scored overhead kick. And
they were going home.
And which would have been appropriate. Like, they did not deserve to be in that final. And you could see, what I loved about them getting to the final was Spain, you could just see the difference in quality of the squad. And it's like, they lose Rodri, who is probably the best midfielder in the world. And this other guy comes in, I think he plays in Sociedad. Spain had 7 players from Real Sociedad. 7.
I think they only had, for the first time, they only had 2 players from Barcelona and Madrid. Which is
one Laporte is in Saudi, starting, but he plays in Saudi. And it's like, at the end of the day, these guys looked like a machine. They were getting back to that old Spain, not quite 2010, but like, you know, the man. And shout out to Nico Williams and Yamal, bro. Yo, like, yeah, I know, no, those kids. When you talk about excitement on the pitch, and it's like this. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, you know, lighties who were just having a good time.
Yeah,
Just, I'm just here to have a good time, bro. Like, it
because
was
the coach
so
didn't
cool.
complicate it. He set them up in a way which brought the best out of them. It's not
Yeah.
like he took Yamal and he's like, okay, Yamal, I'm gonna have you play right wing back. No.
And they didn't have to spend time chasing back. They had a system in place where you don't have to rely on
Even
Yamal or Nico Williams having to track back because you've got Ruiz and Rodri manning midfield, bossing that shit. Like the only
even
one which was
against
close was Germany. Germany, that was a really good game. That should have been a final.
mhm,
Germany,
mhm. That
Spain,
should have been the
I think
final.
that was the best game of the Euros in terms of the big names, where Germany really had a good chance. Like they lost, but it was like even I was pained for them because that was a tough one. Like, it's just you shake their hands and be like, hey, yeah, no, this was a really good game.
Mhm.
Tactically, everything. Like Germany threw everything at it. And all the other games, weren't that great. But like Georgia, I think who did Georgia play? Where there was that one? That was a hot game. So like Georgia, Turkey, Romania, some of these other smaller nations, they represented. They played good football.
Mhm.
They played
Turkey
good
played
football.
really well. That boy from Madrid, what's his name? Guya, Arda Guya. Oh, he's
Mm.
powerful. He's going to be special. There's some players that I saw in this tournament. I was like, no, you're going to go far.
Yeah.
If they're not tournament thingies. There's players that disappointed me. I won't
Mm.
lie. Mbappe,
Yeah.
Foden,
That one was
Bellingham,
drinking. He was dreaming about the Bernabeu that.
Madrid. Mm.
Yeah, he wasn't in it.
Um, I think my biggest disappointment, though, and Arsenal fans won't like this, but I'll say it.
Declan
Declan
Rice.
Rice.
Yeah, no, no. Fraud.
Do you
Fraud.
know that in the final he made one forward pass?
Oh, that's actually an observation that I made. If you
One.
compared in the final, the way I would, and this is one thing, I watched too many of the England games because my mind was not predisposed to back passes. So I'd watch the Spanish midfielders, and instead of passing it back, they would turn. Like something in my brain goes, oh, you can turn. This is how bad the English were.
Right?
I'd seen so many of their games where like the Spanish midfielders were turning and facing their man. I'm like, God, you can, and it causes such a problem. Like midfielders who can turn and take on their man. Defenders do not want to see that shit. And you have people like that. Like Jude was actually trying to take on players. Like he was trying. He was zamaring here and there. But like I don't know what it was. They could just side to side. Declan Rice, really, again, without Jorginho next to him or Thomas Partey next to him, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Mainu had his hands full.
Bro.
It
And
was
it
it was
almost felt like in
tense.
that midfield he had to do everything on the ball.
Mm,
Like I have nothing against Rice off the ball, but
mm.
on the ball he was shocking, man.
So when would you have
And I
started
don't
Palmer?
know when.
Yeah, based on performances and you saw how things went. When would you have started Palmer and who would you have had him start ahead of?
That's interesting because I think Palmer is so I don't think he's a better 10 than Foden, but I
Mm.
think on the wing he could have done better than Saka. But then Saka's probably more disciplined, which is what Southgate wanted.
He's more safe.
And he's more safe. And even then, even if you played him in the 10, because I think after the first two games, it was just obvious that the balance is wrong. If you
Yeah.
threw Palmer in and you just swapped him like for like with Foden and
Mm,
just threw him in the 10, you'd
mm.
have had the same issues with the shape of the team had stayed the same.
But do you know what
Or throw him
my
on the
my
left.
my theory is about Palmer, Watkins to a certain extent, but definitely Mainu is Spitty Pit. These guys are
Yes.
coming from Spitty Pit. This is why they were shining.
Yes.
The team was in Spitty Pit. They come from Spitty Pit, so they were like, no, this one, I know this one. Like I know
When
what to
there's
do
chaos,
when there's
like
chaos. Like
Kobe Menu, when there's chaos,
mm. I come
like
from
when
a
it's like,
club, Vele,
right.
we don't know what we're doing. Half the players on strike. Hey, what, yeah. But me, I
Mm-hmm.
operate. That is what happened. But then when you come to these first world children, Saka, Foden, Bellingham, people who don't know disorder, Kane, Like
my
those players are the ones
criticism
who are
of
not who are seeing stars because they just they abakwazi ukudlala
yeah.
esikwakweni. Palmer
Although
wakhulela
my
esikwakweni.
criticism of Foden, Kane, I'll say Saka, but Saka came at clutch. Those big moments, like clutch moments. It's easy to win a game 3-0. You know what I mean? It's easy to dominate a team and win a game 3-0 and score a hat trick. But can you get that goal out of nowhere when it's not looking too good for when the pressure's on, right? I think Kane in every final he's underwhelmed. Every single final.
But you
And
know,
you look at
with
it and you go,
Ulokuzin, Usaka, I got frustrated with him in the final. He was trying to do the same thing over and over again. He was on the right and he was trying to cut in left so that he can get a shot off. He tried that 3 times in a row. And I'm like, bro, is that all you can do? Like, try crossing it. Like, do
no,
something else.
So it probably, maybe it lends to the point you made earlier that, especially with Pep and Arteta, right? They are, I think they overcoach. I think they overcoach their
They take the
creative
thinking out of
players.
the game.
Yeah, like look at Grealish since he's gone to Man City. Like Grealish used to be a baller, man. He used to be that guy. Now he stops, he turns back, he passes inside, he does it's repetitive, it's the same thing. And I think those are coaches, like those 2 coaches, City and Arsenal, they kill you by process.
Yeah.
And repetition.
It's a system.
It's a system. And
it's a system.
They will allow you with, okay, I can see that you're talented, Saka, but I want you to learn how to do this and do it well.
Yeah.
Don't deviate. And that's a problem, man. That's a very big problem. And then Southgate, obviously, is nowhere near the level of those guys.
So you scheme those ones were missing instruction from their coaches.
No, they just weren't set up to play in a way that would work for them. All of them. Bellingham, Kane, Trippier. Trippier is a very good right back, but shit left back.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's how it is. That's how I see it.
Pickford had some decent saves. I was impressed. I was like, okay.
He's actually a good keeper.
That could have. No, he's not a good keeper. Don't gas him. Don't gas.
I think he's a good keeper. The problem is he's
Ulama funnies, bruh. Ulama funnies with Pickford.
I think he just got short man syndrome. You know, like when you're short, but then you just want to kanya with no, but I've got a loud voice and this, I've got personality. Yeah, that's where I look at it and I'm like,
Let's get into Enzo real quick before you have to dip. Right. Okay, cool. So Enzo Fernandez, Chelsea player, also Argentina player. Argentina won the Copa America, and Enzo recorded a video of him on the team bus with his teammates, and they were singing a racist song targeted at French players, and namely apparently Mbappe as well. So the chant basically, they were singing it in Spanish, but it translates to listen, spread the word. They play in France, but they're all from Angola. How nice it is. They're going to run. They are Commetravas, which apparently is a slang term loosely translated to someone who has sex with transgender people. So they're Commetravas like fucking Mbappe. Their mom is literally Mbappe. Their mom is Nigerian, their dad is Cameroonian, but in the document, nationality French. So that's the song that they were singing. Obviously, this silly guy posted, he was on Instagram live, and that's now on his Instagram. The whole team is singing it. And obviously the world reacted negatively. His teammates, Chelsea teammates, Chelsea employs 6 black French players, which compounds the issue even more. They all subsequently went on to unfollow him on Instagram. So I had 2 reactions. One as a fan of Chelsea, and one is just kind of as me. The Chelsea fan in me is vexed because this is not what we need right now. We have a new coach. We have players who are on international duty, and then the other guys are on preseason right now. You know, it's a lot already. We're not the best, greatest of squads. We have an unproven coach. There's already a lot of things going against us for next season. Now,
Yep.
this is something that could potentially ruin the season entirely. It reminded me of with the Golden State Warriors after they won the NBA championship. Yeah, so the NBA finals would have been in June, right? This was like 2022. And then the season starts again in October. Just before the season started in preseason, Draymond Green punched his teammate, one of the young, bright players on the team, literally punched him during practice. And then the video was leaked. So now online, we all saw the video. And the Warriors proceeded to have a horrible season. And that was kind of what the catalyst was for having a horrible season. And I'm thinking this is going to be something along those lines. Because there's way too many black players who actually play. Disasi plays, Malo Gusto plays. You know, these are guys that we rely on. And we rely on Enzo as well. And then now the irony of it, like Enzo got injured towards the end of last season. And that's when Chelsea's form picked up immediately. So, yeah, as a fan, I'm annoyed. I'm vexed. As Utawo and just an individual, again, why are you guys singing about France? Like, it's Copa America, right?
You just beat Colombia.
France has been long gone from the Euros. You just beat Colombia. Gandhi, why are you singing about France? Like, I don't get you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like I need context. Like, what happened for you to sing that song? It just didn't make any sense.
I think it's Argentinian culture. It's very racist. It's anti-black. If you look at the history,
I also look into the history of black people in Argentina. You know, there was a certain guy in Germany who tried to do a thing. Let's just say Argentina did the thing.
They actually did it.
Yeah, they actually successfully.
What do you think happens to him now? Does he get
Chelsea
the Greenwood treatment, or do they bring him back?
Chelsea released a very weak statement talking about, we're going to use this as an opportunity to educate him, and he also released a PR, your typical Instagram statement. I don't even have to read it because all of you know exactly what he would have probably said.
Same thing.
Yeah, so it's not good enough. I would like to see him get like a 5-match, 10-match ban, something like that, from Chelsea directly without FA having to step in or anything like that. That's what I would like to see. I think as a teammate, I'll still be annoyed with him, but is that okay? He's been punished. I think what could lose our season is if Chelsea are laxed with it and just go, yeah, we've taken him to counseling and this and this and that. As a teammate, I would not find that to be acceptable at all. It would not be enough for what bro. He said it was a mistake. We were overjoyed by winning the trophy. And I'm like, Chief, you are smiling.
So happy I became a racist.
Exactly. It's like you're smiling from ear to ear. You have time. So many mistakes. Number 1, you sing the song. Number 2, you record it. Number 3, you post it. Like, no way did something go. And even if I'm sitting next to you singing the song and I see Senna record, I'm whispering in your like, hey, nigga, you better not be posting this thing. Right? Because you know what it made me think of? Because people, obviously people were having the opinions and saying, no, guys, it's a song, it's banter. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Let's even go with your example. It's banter. There's to bring it closer to home. Sing with me, Mr. Moy. Islander, Sheila Moya.
I'm not about to. I'm not right. This is a cue to go.
Exactly.
But it's silly.
You wouldn't
these are the kind of things you can't tolerate.
Off the rest of that song, right? Like you're not gonna record it and then say that, hey, like it's just not gonna fly, right? Like even if you meant it as jest, like and the thing is, the lyrics are just, you know what I mean?
They're horrible, man.
They're horrible. You can't justify them. That's number 1. But number 2, let's say the lyrics were mild, right? Why are you posting it? Why are you posting it?
Hey, we'll see. Do you think he gets a ban?
I hope so. I doubt it. I doubt he gets a ban. But anyway,
I think he gets a fine,
which is nothing in nowadays.
But
by
anyway, the club.
I know you have to go. You're out of time. We've given the listeners enough. for this
Yes.
week. Sorry we
Thank
couldn't be there
you.
last week. We really, really tried until the last minute, but it's Linda's fault. She went on holiday. I think that's the best way to put it. But anyway, as you guys know, like the thing, subscribe to the thing, retweet the thing. And if you don't, we're inclined to believe you're a hater, Mr. Moore.
Laters.